Hello everyone, hope you're all doing great. This time I'm back with another interesting video and it's about cross-platform mobile app development. Write once and run anywhere. What if I told you if we could use a single code base that could run on Android, iOS, Windows, and even on the web, but each framework cheats in a different way? Let's try to understand how that is possible. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is cross-platform development, what problems it is solving, how that problem is solved, why companies even choose it, what's the cross-platform ecosystem, why BigTechs invest on it, and what are the job opportunities that we have. Cross-platform development, by definition, is a development approach in which a single code base is used to build applications that can run on multiple operating systems or platforms such as mobile, desktop, or web environments while minimizing platform-specific modifications. It is important to note the points like single code base and running that on multiple operating systems or platforms. Now the question comes, why do we even have to maintain a single code base for running on multiple operating systems? Let's try to understand this scenario with an example. Let's say we are creating an e-commerce business software application. It's a digital platform and it needs to be available on different devices like mobile and web desktops. In mobile, we have different operating systems like iOS, Android, and on desktop we have Mac OS, Windows, and web needs to run on different browsers. If we observe the tech stack of these platforms, it varies differently. In iOS, we need Xcode, Xcode IDE, programming languages like Swift, Objective-C, and in Android, we have Android SDK, Android Studio, and programming languages like Java, Kotlin, or C++. Similarly, in Windows, we have C Sharp, .NET, and we need Windows 10 environment. So usually what company do, they hire engineers who have a specific set of skills for that platform and they try to create applications. This process is called native only development and it provides great advantages in terms of extracting maximum performance out of the devices because we write code that is more nearer to the platform's hardware, so it is easy to access the API specific to that device and provide great customer experience. Along with these great advantages, there are also some disadvantages with this setup. So the problems that we have in native only development are like in terms of hiring and operations, we have a scarcity in the specialized native developers. So the hiring time can increase for the team and there is no sharing logic between different platforms even though the application is same with the same business logic on different platforms. There is no mechanism to share that code, so the development effort is high here and there can be inconsistent user experience because different platforms might have different set of features that are focused only for that device, so there can be inconsistent experience there. And as I said, the development cost will be high, the maintenance overhead will also be high as they have to maintain different code bases. Let's say there is a bug in business logic, it needs to be fixed in multiple other code bases as well, and the testing time will also increase because it needs to be tested on different devices as it is maintaining a different code base. And there are different strategic disadvantages as well. Let's say if you want to create an MVP, minimum viable product, it needs to be done on other platforms as well. So the return on investment is less comparatively and it can cause more budget constraints. There will be fragmented business logic and the amount of time that it takes to ship our feature to the market can also increase because the teams need to synchronize with this with their release cycle. We cannot push a feature that is only available on iOS and that is not available in other platform, so the release cycles also needs to be managed perfectly. So this will cause delays in the putting your product into the market. So these are some of the problems that we observe by using only native development. And let's understand how development is proposing here to solve these problems. At the top, you see a shared business logic layer, which is the core idea of cross-platform development. Instead of rewriting the same data models, encryption logic, performance critical code, and offline storage logic separated for Android, iOS, desktop, and web, this logic is written once and shared across platforms. Below that is the shared UI framework layer, where frameworks like React Native or Flutter define UI components, state management, navigation, and theming. This shared code then communicates with each platform through platform-specific bridges, which allow the shared layers to access the native Android, iOS, desktop, or web APIs when needed. Finally, at the bottom, the app runs as native code on real devices like phones, desktops, and browsers. So, the key idea here is not write once, run everywhere, but rather share code where it makes sense and go native where it matters. And different cross platform frameworks simply choose different layers of this diagram to share. We have already seen some of the advantages with cross platform development with in terms of product delivery and all. Let's try to understand why companies even choose this framework in their development process. First of all, it's about the market challenges. We have observed high development cost and slow time to market, and there is inconsistency between different platforms, and the teams needs to hire larger engineering headcounts. So it also helps in strategic business outcomes, like the hiring pipeline is simplified here, the operational expenditure, maintenance is reduced, and we have a faster feature rollouts, and the product stability is also good, and it can be easily scalable to different platforms as well. So these are some of the advantages that organization observe in the cross-platform framework, and they do invest in their development portfolio. What do we have in the ecosystem? What frameworks, what technologies are currently in the market that are helping in this area? These are some of the major cross-platform frameworks that we observe in the market: Flutter, React Native, Kotlin multi-platform, and .NET MAUI. Flutter is backed by Google. It was introduced in the year 2015, and post that there were multiple other releases. Its primary language is Dart. It is similar to JavaScript and Java. It has it's their own custom rendering pipeline. It do not depend on the platform's rendering engine. It uses Kia, so it gives more flexibility in terms of consistency of UI across different platforms. It has greater share in the market, about 46%. One of the drawback that we observe with Flutter is it packages the application runtime and also rendering runtime as part of the application bundle itself. So it might not be well suited for the devices that have lower memory configurations. React Native is another major player. Its primary language is JavaScript and TypeScript. It's backed by Meta. It was started as an internal project into the Meta, but then it made open source, and it has a massive ecosystem and shares around 35% of market share. And there are ample amount of web developers who can easily get onboarded to React Native. In terms of performance, in the older architecture, there was some performance bottleneck in terms of communicating between the JS layer to the native layer, as it has to go through some bridge, and that was causing an overhead. But in the newer architecture, they have introduced something called as JSI turbo modules, which improves the performance in terms of communication between the JavaScript layer and the native layer. One of the drawbacks that we observe with React Native is the updating version can include breaking changes, as React Native is still in the minor version. We do not have the major version upgrades. So once we get the stable releases, I think that drawback should also be getting nullified. Other framework is getting trended in cross-platform technologies is Kotlin multi-platform. Its primary language is Kotlin, and it can be used to create a shared business logic on multiple platforms. It can be compiled natively on different platforms. It is rapidly growing, and yeah, the learning curve can be less if you're already aware and known about the Java programming language. .NET MAUI is also a good cross-platform framework. It is backed by Microsoft. It is also an open source project, and C Sharp is its primary programming language. It is well suited for designing the enterprise applications. So this is a development survey on the cross-platform development frameworks. Um, Flutter is leading with higher market share and followed by React Native, and we do observe different cross-platform frameworks that are coming into the picture. Cross-platform technologies are used by major companies like Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft. Even Netflix uses the Kotlin multi-platform in their app development. So it shows the confidence in this framework, and it also shows there are good amount of job opportunities in this field. Many companies hire framework-specific developers such as React Native developers, Flutter developers, .NET MAUI developers, or Kotlin multi-platform developers. These roles requires deep understanding of a specific framework and how it interacts with native Android, iOS, and Windows platforms. So it is in great demand, and multiple organizations invest on hiring such developers. Thank you for watching. Hope you like the content. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want me to cover any other framework in a deeper way, please do add comment. I'll happily do that. Thank you once again.